Welcome to the Way to Build Wealth. I'm Ethan Block. That's Warren Buffett. And together, we're helping you build some wealth. Welcome to the show. I hope you had a tremendous Christmas, a tremendous Hanukkah, and I hope you're as pumped as I am for 2009 in 3 days. Now, I know I said we weren't going to be putting out any more episodes, but this kind of struck me right before I was leaving San Francisco for the holidays, so I threw this together. I got a flight in like 4 hours, but anyway, I'm here for you guys, pumping this stuff out whenever I can. Anyway, that was a whole little snippet. Anyway, before you start thinking about where you're partying on New Year's, you might have already determined that, or what you're doing New Year's Eve, think about your taxes for 2009, or more specifically, your 2008 tax reporting year, which you'll do in April 2009. If you currently have any stocks, bonds, mutual funds that have taken a major beating this year, and a lot of people have taken beatings, you may want to think about selling them so you can realize that capital loss. Now, I would only think it wise to sell them if these are securities or investments that you don't really feel confident in. Maybe you bought a stock that a friend told you about, and now it's in the dumps, and you don't really understand the business that it is backed by that stock at all, and you're like, so I own this, I paid this price, it's here, will it ever get back to there? Is it possible to get back to there? Is there any value in the business at this price? These are a lot of questions that if you're not doing serious business analysis, you won't be able to answer. And if you can't answer them, you can't feel confident about your investments, whether it's stocks or bonds. Mutual funds are a little bit different of a story because then you have to feel confident about the management, et cetera, et cetera. You know how I feel about mutual funds. But anyway, as I got carried away, if you have any stocks, bonds, or mutual funds that have taken a beating and you're not confident in them, think about selling them so you can realize that capital loss. Now, basically, with that capital loss, you can use it to you can write it off your income, but before you can do that, you can net it against any other capital gains you might have had this year, whether you sold some real estate and made some money, whether you had other stock or bond or mutual fund transactions that you made money in. You can use these capital losses to write down the capital gains or net out your capital gains. Now, if you didn't have any capital gains or you have capital losses left over after netting out your capital gains, you can deduct up to $3,000 from your ordinary income, i.e. your salary. That's badass in and of itself, but you can only deduct up to $3,000. Then, if you still have capital losses left over, you can take them all the way to next year. That's sweet too. And again, if you have a massive, capital loss, you can keep rolling it year to year until you used up all of its tax benefits. Now, a lot of people have asked me, they're like, well, what about if I sell this stock in the dumps and I get that capital loss and then I go and buy it back and I still own the same stock? So that was a loophole that the IRS closed, I'm not sure when, within the past few years. So you can still do that, but you have to wait 31 days to buy back the same investment. Otherwise, the IRS will be blasting in your door middle of the night, waking everybody up, and that never turns out pretty. So if you want to do that, wait 31 days. I think I've covered everything I want to about how to utilize your capital losses for this upcoming tax reporting season. I guess that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up, Ethan at The Way to Build Wealth. You can find me on Twitter at EBLOCH, at eBlock. And that's it. Listen, have a fabulous New Year's Eve. I wish you a happy and healthy New Year. And we won't be back here on The Way to Build Wealth until like around the 12th of January because Tim and I are still doing a bunch of traveling. But we will be back, and we'll be back all kinds of strong. We have so much in the new year. We are pumped. And that's it. Me, Ethan Block, with Warren Buffett, helping you build some wealth. We'll see you in 2009.